Hello, it's Phillip Taylor from Richmond Green Chambers speaking. I'm reviewing this book from Jordan's. It's called Working in the Family Justice System. It's a family law book, the official handbook of the Family Justice Council, written by Elizabeth Walsh, a solicitor, and Gillian Geddes, a barrister. And it's part of the family law series. This is the book itself. It's standard type of publication again. But one thing it does have, which I think is better, apart from numbering on the sides, which paragraph numbering, which is useful, they have the margins, which I think is extremely helpful, because this is a guide which is applicable to a whole range of different types of person involved in this jurisdiction. There's my Flickr review. I've written a review with my wife, and we've given it the title, A New Approach to the Crisis in Family Law. And this is what we say in simple terms. This is the third edition of what we call a fundamental guide and handbook on family law. Lord Justice Thorpe, in the foreword which he's written, comments that I now survey a family justice system in crisis, continuing with a fair appraisal of the current feelings on display in this area of law by saying, never has the morale of the specialists from every discipline been so low. How right he is about the modern practice in this division. I know the difficulties, certainly as a person who does practice at both county court and high court level, and I'm aware of the difficulties, so I welcome the Family Justice Council's publication. We view the fact that they should be congratulated on providing a first-rate guide for what many feel to be an ignored area of practice, consigned to those in certain areas of the legal profession like myself. Obviously I'm a common law barrister, and I think that the handbook itself is needed for the sort of work that we do today. It has a common sense approach which is often on display here, and the third edition is just right for our needs at the moment. So Walsh and Geddes are to be congratulated as well on producing the sort of material we couldn't find 20 years ago. As I mentioned, the margins are particularly helpful because it gives you a bit of space to breathe, but they also have a lot of information. It's about 400 pages long, so it's not over long. It's got 6 chapters, and the headings cover a whole range of most interesting areas, one of the most important ones being the role of the individual specialists at the family division. The book, not thankfully a textbook, but with some detailed law in it, meets the gap between the practitioner's desires for the right outcome of a hearing and the quick identification of where to find something when time and emotion are not on one side. They produced a most realistic antidote, in my view, to the continuing crisis in family matters, which is so often ignored until breaking point arrives. It fills another gap too, and that is it's readable for both the newcomer and the experienced practitioner at all levels, with the sort of information we need and with the right level of detail in a handy sized edition. It's not heavy either, it's a paperback. Let me just conclude by saying the handbook is also some comfort to those advising embittered and embattled spouses and families in an era of depleted resources, and we're going to have this for some time to come, certainly. Whilst the future for family work is not too rosy, this excellent family friend is a rose between two thorns in our view. So thank you, Jordan's Publishing, for an excellent book, and to the FJC for this excellent support material, ably written by the experts in the field, Elizabeth Walsh and Gillian Geddes. Thank you very much. Bye-bye.